What if one message, just a few lines on a glowing screen, could tilt the odds in your favor? Imagine tapping send and feeling that tiny surge of certainty because you know exactly how to spark curiosity, stir emotion, and make a genuine connection. Today on Stoicism Drive, we're unlocking the psychology of irresistible texting, the subtle cues that build anticipation, the rhythms that pull her closer, and the simple shifts that make your messages feel like a breath of fresh air in a crowded inbox. If you've ever stared at the keyboard wondering, what do I say now? This is your new playbook. Your phone can be a magnet for connection. After this, your texts won't just get replies, they'll be the ones she looks forward to. Maybe you're messaging someone new you're hoping to impress. Maybe you're reconnecting with someone who matters to you and you want the spark back. Either way, the rules are the same. Stop sending forgettable words and start sending feelings she actually wants to return to. You know the scene. You type a sentence, backspace. You try a joke, cringe. You think about a safe, hey, but wonder if it'll vanish into the void. It's a modern paradox, a tiny rectangle in your hand that can build a connection, or serve you the quiet ache of silence. The question that haunts almost everyone is painfully simple. What are the right words? Here's the twist. It's not about perfect pickup lines or manipulative tricks. It's not even about memorizing clever scripts. It's about learning a language. That language is the language of intrigue and emotion, of authenticity that lives beneath the words on the screen. Stick with me. We're not just talking about texting. We're decoding a system, the system that turns you into the kind of person whose messages feel magnetic. Someone who doesn't need to shout to stand out. By the end of this video, you'll see your messages differently. Give me the next few minutes and your texting app will stop being a battleground and start being a bridge. If you're ready to master that language, tap like and subscribe to Stoicism Drive with notifications on. What we're building here is a community of people upgrading their communication, their confidence, and their relationships. You won't want to miss what's next. First, let's make one thing crystal clear. The goal is not to trick anyone. People are perceptive. They sense pressure and inauthenticity instantly. The goal is to become more compelling, more engaging, and more yourself through the medium of text. You're not changing who you are. You're revealing the best of who you are, with clarity and timing. So what's the biggest mistake almost everyone makes? They treat texting like a full conversation. It isn't. A real conversation has tone, facial expressions, timing, and presence. Texting has none of that. It's a minimalist canvas where punctuation, silence, and pacing do as much talking as words. Most people fall into one of two traps. Trap 1. The interviewer. How was your day? What are you up to? How's work? It reads like a survey. It demands energy from her to furnish facts, and it slowly drains the spark from the exchange. Trap 2. The over-investor. Paragraphs that spill into paragraphs. Double texts. Instant replies every single time. This shouts, I have nothing else going on. And it crushes mystery, the oxygen that curiosity needs. Both traps fail for the same reason. They ignore the psychology of attraction. Attraction doesn't grow from a sterile Q&A. It thrives on emotion, curiosity, humor, tension, and timing. Your phone isn't just a messaging device. It's an emotional delivery system, and you're about to install better software. Let's get into the foundations, the non-negotiable rules that reset your text game. 1. Plant the emotional seed. Stop reporting. Start evoking. Facts are forgettable. Feelings are sticky. Instead of, what are you doing? Send something that sparks imagination. You're not fishing for information, you're feeding a mood. Try this shift. Instead of, how was your meeting? Say, quick gut check. If today's meeting were a weather forecast, what would we be bracing for? That tiny twist turns a transactional prompt into a playful image. It invites her to step into the scene, not just recap it. She isn't filing a report, she's sharing a feeling. That makes you a source of fun and intrigue, not an obligation. A few more textures you can use sparingly. Today had plot twist, energy, or slow burn, energy. Which soundtrack fits your afternoon? Upbeat montage or dramatic drums? If your coffee had a personality today, what would it be? Keep it light, specific, and easy to answer. Emotion over data, images over interrogations. 2. Use the open loop, the curiosity gap. An open loop is something you start but don't finish. It creates an itch the brain wants to scratch. The secret is to tie it to her. Then briefly step away. For example, you just reminded me of something I saw, wild coincidence. Tell you in a bit, diving into something. You've connected it to her, sparked a question, and signaled you have a life. Why it works. We're wired to complete patterns. When you open a loop cleanly, you make your next message more anticipated. You're not vanishing, you're pacing the story. Be careful, though. Don't tease constantly with nothing to deliver. When you return, pay it off with a quick image, photo, or one-liner that lands the point. Curiosity plus closure equals trust. 3. Practice strategic vulnerability. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's confident honesty. Share small, relatable moments that humanize you. For instance, attempted spaghetti, accidentally invented abstract art, edible, unknown. It's a wink, not a wallow. It shows you're real, you can laugh at yourself. And you're not crafting a perfect image. Good vulnerability is brief, relatable, and self-aware. You own it, you're not seeking rescue. Genuine moments invite her stories. 2. That's how conversation becomes connection. 4. Play the peak and end rule. We remember experiences by their peak and their ending. Apply this to your texts. When the energy spikes, when you've just shared a funny line and she's laughing, end there. Okay, I'm off to save my kitchen from itself. This was fun, talk soon. You lock in the high note and leave a positive aftertaste. People remember how you made them feel at the peak, and how you signed off. Pro tip. Set up the return before you go. Hold that thought. Want your verdict on something later. Then leave. The next message now has a runway. 5. Master the intentional pause. Instant replies devour suspense. A measured pause creates rhythm and value. This isn't about playing cold games, it's about living a full life and letting your messages breathe. A short delay says you're present in your day and intentional with your words. Like a musician leaving space between notes. You let the melody land. When you do reply, it feels considered, not compulsive. The point isn't to make her wait, the point is to let anticipation do some of the heavy lifting. Guidelines. Vary your timing naturally. When energy is high, you can be quicker. When the topic cools, take your time and re-enter with a new flavor, an evoking question. A tiny story, or a voice note if appropriate. The mindset that makes it all work, the frame. Your texts are the trailer for the movie that is your life. The goal isn't long, draining threads that die on the vine. The goal is a vivid preview that makes meeting up feel like the obvious next step. You're not aiming to win a chat. You're inviting her into your world, light, confident, and paced. A few trailer-worthy habits. Sprinkle micro-stories from your day. 1 or 2 sentences with an image. Use callbacks to shared moments. Offer low-friction invitations. Quick walk and talk or a coffee taste test with playful stakes. Remember, you're not performing, you're previewing. Keep the stakes low, the vibe warm, and the rhythm intentional. Putting it all together, a simple flow. Spark an image, open a loop, pay it off later with a tiny story or photo. Add a human moment, catch the peak and end on a high. Return with purpose and an easy invite. You'll notice what's missing: interrogation, pressure, and walls of text. Instead, you're creating a rhythm, spark, tease, reveal, connect, pause, advanced notes on tone, timing, and pacing. Tone. Warmth plus playfulness beats sarcasm. Timing. If she's engaged, mirror her pace respectfully. If she slows, don't smother, open a loop for later. Pacing. Alternate images and feelings. Mix light banter with brief sincerity to keep things human. Quick don'ts so you don't sabotage yourself. Don't ask 3 questions in a row. Don't justify delayed replies with long apologies. Own your rhythm. Don't perform status or brag. Show life in motion, not a resume. Don't tease without payoff. Curiosity without closure breeds distrust. Don't over-explain jokes. If it didn't land, pivot lightly. Templates you can borrow, use sparingly and make them yours. Emotion seed. If your afternoon were a color grade, are we in warm gold or moody blue? Open loop. You're going to laugh at what just happened, bookmarking for later. Strategic vulnerability. Victory. Didn't burn the toast. Defeat. Burned the eggs. Net neutral? Peak and end. This riff made my day. I'm stepping out. Keep that laugh queued up. Catch you soon. Soft invite. 10-minute coffee verdict challenge. Strongest cup wins bragging rights. These aren't scripts, they're starting lines. The power is in the delivery, concise, image-rich, and paced. When you pick up your phone and that familiar anxiety whispers, pause. Hear this checklist in your head. Don't default to logic-only questions, plant an emotional seed. Don't drown her in paragraphs. Open a loop and pace the story. Don't posture. Share one human moment. Don't fizzle out. Catch the peak and end warm. Don't rush every reply. Let anticipation do its quiet work. This is a skill, and it sharpens with honest reps. You now have the language, the tools, and the mindset. You're no longer the person staring at a blank screen. You're the one who knows how to make that screen come alive. Send messages that feel like an invitation, not an interrogation. When you do, meeting up stops feeling like a hurdle and starts feeling like the natural, exciting next step. If this video sparked a shift for you, if those light bulbs flickered on, tap like. Subscribe to Stoicism Drive, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive. Drop a comment with your favorite line or win you've had using these ideas. And share this with a friend who needs an upgrade in their text game. The more people we help communicate clearly and confidently, the better every conversation gets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.